friend. Welcome to my sewing room. My name is Catherine and this is my floss tube where I talk about all my cross stitch. So today I'm very excited to be offering up for you a WIP parade. So welcome. So yes, if you've not been here before, this is my sewing room, and here is where I talk about all the things that light me up creatively. So today, like a lot of other people, I am jumping in and sharing with you all of the things that I have been working on. And I think I forgot one, but that's okay. You know, I'm going to have to edit this because I have a bird clock here that's going to go off in about 30 minutes, and I know I'm going to go beyond that. So far, I think I've never counted my WIPs before. So far, I think I have 27 WIPs. So that's actually, I was a little relieved to discover that, because normally I don't want to know the number, but I think, I tell my husband all the time when he's talking about, you know, getting more fit, maybe losing weight, things like that. You have to know the number to move the number. So here I am. I'm going to be revealing my number here. I think it's 27. So welcome. So let's jump right in, and I'm going to show you my book of days. And today is February 2nd. And this is what my January, now I'm trying to be better about my book of days. So I'm turning over a new leaf, as they say. And January, I tried to add things like photos. We have a new niece. There's Luca, or I'm sorry, my niece had a baby named Luca. So I'm very excited that we have a new member of the family. And I got one of those camera printers that you can get, those little Bluetooth printers for Christmas. So I've been trying to add in things that just to help me remember what happened, and also just to serve as a memory later. So that, anyway, we had a fun January, and February I have nothing in here, but I do want to mention that this beautiful book cover was given to me by my friend Andrea Beautiful, who is on Instagram at Fillin69, and she makes things like this and project bags and folders. I'll put her link below if you want to head over and see her things. She lists them for sale on Instagram, but isn't that beautiful? It's got a little zipper here so I can keep my pencil, pen, highlighters, things like that. So that's where I am. I had a very active January, and I decided to do WhipGo. So if you're not familiar with WhipGo, again, I'll link it below. So WhipGo is basically where it's like a bingo board. You put on 25 WIPs that you want to work on throughout the year. Every month, Jessie Marie does stuff. We'll call out two numbers, and you see those two numbers on your board, and those are you can do whatever you want. So I have 25 different WIPs that I just want to get to this year. And so that's why I thought I've done it before. I didn't do it last year, and I thought I'd try it again just to kind of pull things out and work on them, because they get buried and then I forget about them. So I'm going to jump in. Now this is in no particular order. I'm going to just grab things and show you. Now I was a very good girl yesterday. I came up and I got ready by ironing everything for the most part. There's a couple things I didn't iron because I just now found them. So for the most part, everything's ironed. So I'm going to start off with what I have right in front of me. Now this is going to be kind of okay. Sarah Milthorp. I'm very happy to be working on Sarah. I'm going to show you the image here, and I'm going to show you where I am on her. I have her on a roller frame or a scroll frame. So this is my one WIP that I'm going to show you that's kind of rolled up. So that's why I'm going to show you that I've worked down here, I've done the house, and now I'm up here at this part here. So this is where I am. This is a 40 count Dirty Teacup by Needle and Flax, and I'm using the called for a Versoise silk in Soie d'Alger, so the puffier one. This is very lame. I'm sorry, don't judge me. Don't judge the rest of it based on this, because the rest of it, you'll see all of my samplers, but that's where I am on it. I should probably start again, but I'm just going to push on. But you can see I've gotten all of the bottom part done, and now I'm working my way up to the top. And I hear that those medallions are no joke. I was watching my friend Sarah's Stitchy Spot yesterday, and she's working the same sampler, and ooh, those things look intense. Everybody that I've seen do this, they get up to that part there, and it's kind of fiddly stitching, but boy, is that a pretty one. I can't wait to have this done. So that's number one. So let's get right into the rest of them. So this next one, and I tried to unzip all of my project bags. So for those of you that are listening on your headphones, it won't be too noisy for you. Now this is Anathes, and this one is from the sampler Antique Needlework Quarterly. If you have that CD for your, you can put it in your computer, and then you can scroll through and print off what you like. So this is from number 56. It's from the year 2009. It's been around, and I know you can buy this just by itself, but if you want to get it on that CD, it's on there. And I am doing this on a piece of 40 count, and this is Swan Bay fabric in Pemberley, and that's where I am on that. Now I have lights on in here so I can really show you well, so I might have to back up so you can see the true color, because the lights kind of blow it out a little bit. I'm using the called for DMC, and I'm working the bottom. Loving it. I love this one so much. There you go. That's the true color. It's so hard to put this one down. I just really am having fun with it. Anathes, 1859. Okay, a lot to do. So now I get to fold them all up and put them back in so I don't lose them. This lives in a bag I made out of some really cute swan fabric. So I make bags usually this way, and I don't do a lot of them, but from time to time I do them. Okay, Frances Eden. This is another one that you can get at 1884 Stitchery. It was out of print for a long time, but you can head over there and download it, or you can have her send it to you. And quite a lot of people are doing this one. I think Sherry Colorado Cross Stitcher, she might be done with it, but I'm using a 40 count platinum, and this is with the Victoria Clayton silks. I'll start back here. You can see it's a very neutral color background, and it really just makes all of that beautiful floss pop. I love this design. I love the houses, all the critters. I've worked across the top a little bit, and I'm making pretty good progress on it. I know I'm going to finish it this year, but I'm hoping to have it done by my birthday for sure, but maybe Easter, we'll see. There she is, Frances Eden, 40 count platinum. Plastic bag. Alrighty. Moving on. Now there is no reason in the world why I don't have this one done other than, like everybody says, squirrel. This is Jessie Smith, and this is the Scarlet House. I think I got this at the attic. Yes, I did. And it's a smaller sampler. I'm doing this on a 40 count Optina by Tropical Stitches, which is a really pretty grayish color. It's got really light, beautiful modeling, and I'm clipping along. I got all the way around working the upper part, and again, no reason I can just finish this, but sometimes these smaller ones you think you're going to be done so fast because they're little, but there is still quite a lot of stitching in it. But I am doing this with the called for Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Art. I think those are the cute little sampler. And again, this just lives in one of those bags from the Daiso store. This one lives, the next one is in a bag I made myself, and this is something I got at the attic, and it's if you want it, you can call the attic and you can order it there, because it's Pineberry Lane, and it's Hannah and Emma Foster, and quite a lot of people are doing this as not a stitch along so much, but it's kind of a start along, and it was converted to Swa Goblin silks, which are a little more puffy. I'm using a 37 count Legacy in, gosh, what is this again? I'm sorry. I usually have everything Irish Coffee, Legacy Irish Coffee, and this is where I am on it. Very pretty. I haven't made a ton of progress, but you can see she's got some little red shoes over there. So I know I can get this done this year. Very sweet. And these are all the pretty silks. So enjoying that one. And yeah, like I said, a lot of people are doing it. I think I watched Sarah the other day, and she has that one going. Oh, just, there are so many people that are working on that one. Now this one, I feel a little embarrassed showing you because I haven't really done a lot of work on it. And it's quite a lot of stitching. So this is Jessie Challenor by Hands Across the Sea. Sigh. I bought this at the attic last year, and I wanted to do the bright colorway, and to really make it pop with the called for silks, I decided to use a piece of Legacy linen in Russian tea cake, and this is a 40 count, and I like the really puffy stitches, so I tend to use the Avera Soie Soie d'Alger on the 37 count, and I like it. There, see, I can't really see what I'm showing you, but let's get close. So I've really just worked that bird down in that corner there, and I am planning to move over and head over towards the center part. My friend Heidi, Stitching Faye, hi Heidi, is also working on this, and she's clipping along. Now she really is probably almost done. I keep saying Heidi's almost done. She is the fastest stitcher I think I've ever seen. I know there's a lot of fast stitches out there, but she's super fast. She's such an inspiration. This next one lives in this bag that I made. This was something that I did, oh gosh, I can't even remember, 4 years ago? It was my first, I think, and only attempt at applique. And I was going to make, I had good intentions to do a quilt, but that's as far as I got. It's quite a lot to do that. This next one is Birds of the Feather, and you can get this now. You can get it on Colorado Cross Stitcher, and it used to be out of print. I've had this going for about 2 years now, and I don't know why it's just taking me so long. This is on Bee's Knees, 36 count with the called for floss. Very cute. I love the primitive. I think what kind of is holding me up on it is the personalization, because there's initials to add, and I don't know, I just was being a little bit lazy. Like, if it's not super easy to sit down and stitch on, I tend to avoid it. So that's that's on me. It's such a pretty design. And I'll get it done. No, I don't know if I'll get it done this year, but it's on my menu. It's on my WhipGo, so it will get called at some point. Okay, the 7 Sheep Sampler. Again, I got this a couple years ago at the attic. I saw it and I just love it. They used vintage autumn gold, which there was no way I was finding that, but I had some vintage Lakeside Meadow Rue. I think I'm doing 36 count, and I'm using the called for floss. Am I doing 36? No, it's a 40 count piece, and it's a really big piece I just happened to have in my stash. This one did not get ironed, but I haven't worked on it, I think, since the last time I showed it. So let me show you where I am. Oof, look at that gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. Let me move on up. Woohoo! So this is definitely on my WhipGo, and I have so much more work to do on it, so no plans to have it done anytime soon, but I have a plan to work on it this year, so that's the good news. Okay, clipping along here. This next one has not seen the light of day in a year or two, and I kind of thought I might let it go because I wasn't really loving how it was turning out. So this is on a Zweigart, let's see, it's Silk Weaver, Days Gone By, 36 count, and I think it was the color of the red I chose. Here, let me show it to you. So this is Anna Omen, 1873. I love the eagle in the middle. I believe it's an eagle. It may not be. It may just be a bird. But this is where I am on it. It's not my favorite type of stitching, just because when I started this a couple years ago, this was not the type of stitching that I really gravitated towards, but I loved the design, and I love the red, just the monochromatic stitch. I'm using, I think this is Schoolhouse Red, but I'll look and show you in a minute. And this Silk Weaver Days Gone By is very pretty. And whenever I am using, for the most part, unless I tell you, I use one strand of floss. This is Rainbow Gallery Splendor Silk in S820, which is a really bright, vibrant silk, which is, I don't know, the silk is very warm. This has a lot of warmth in it, so I think it was that combination that was kind of turning me off as I was working on it, but I think I'm going to push on. I really do like it, and a 36 count I'm just starting to realize would be easier for me to see. Sometimes I do stitch downstairs. Well, this is my sewing room. This is where I stitch most of the time. I have my Lowry stand up here. I'm a two-handed stitcher, and I use my needle like a shuttle. I go really quickly on my Lowry stand, but when it comes to stitching downstairs, that's a different story. It's just I've got things kind of balanced on a tray on my lap. I need better lighting, so I have a little magnifier with a light on it. And I get distracted by the television, which we like to relax and watch TV together. We're so busy during the day. We are retired. However, we live on a property that our children live on as well, our grown children with their partners, and so I still make dinner every night for everybody. And so dinner for 6 adults every night we do that, and then there's a lot of outdoor work right now. I do live in California right now. The weather is absolutely beautiful. It's what we call, a couple of days ago we would have called January because we've had so much sun and warmth. And it sounds like a great thing. It is a good thing. It's pleasant, but what happens with the trees and the flowers is they think it's spring, and so they all start to push out their foliage and they start to bud out. And then in February we do get cold here, and we get rain, we get snow sometimes. I'm close to where Sacramento is, but up in the foothills in California, and it can get quite cold and frosty, and then everything kind of goes burp, burp, burp. So why did I tell you my weather report? Because we're busy, and I know why, because that's why I end up, see, it always informs. So the weather informs my stitching. So if it's super beautiful outside, we're outside a lot. And so we're busy during the day. In the evening, I'm running around like a hamster making dinner for people. So by 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, we just want to sit down and just do Netflix or something. And we're chilling out for an hour or two. And I am sometimes stitching. Have to edit this. Okay, my next one, the beautiful, beautiful Elizabeth Stevenson, 1854, by Hands Across the Sea, the Queen of the May, from last year. Oh, just gorgeous. This was the sampler. I kind of had to stop everything I was doing and get this up and start it. So I got a piece of 40 count, and this is by Needle and Flax. It is Dirty Teacup. I use this one a lot for my samplers. I just love it. And I used a call for DMC. Let me show you where I am on it. Not made a ton of progress. I'm down at the bottom. And I'll talk about the only change I've done to it. So you can see the grass. If you look at the grass on this side, you can see that you can't really see all of those cool geometric lines that make up the hillside. But on the right hand side, you can see that. So that's what I changed. I made the hillside lighter so I could see all the geometric lines that I put in. Let me tell you what I used. Hold, please. I changed up and used DMC 733. So that's the lighter green. So I stayed in the same green family. And then I subbed it out for 731, which is this, which doesn't seem like it's a lot different. It's a lot different. So I don't know, it's just maybe my dye lot was different, or maybe the silk translates differently. But anyway, I think Nicola Parkman always encourages us to change what we like. It's our sampler. And so that's what I did. But the rest of it will stay the same. I just love it. I love all the pinks. I love the greens. I was watching Christy Crosshatch Quilts yesterday, and she was showing it. And she started at the top. And the top has all these really, really pretty flower bouquets. So I cannot wait to get up there. So originally I thought, oh, okay, I'll just work down here and go up. And I feel like I want to zip up here and start going across. But it's going to be she's a big one. And that's 40 count. That's a big sampler. Okay. All right, clock went off. I got a piece that I wanted to show you. I forgot to show you my finish that I did this week. So in January, I did a blessing sampler with my friend Kim, Contented Needleworker Kim. And this is the sampler we chose. A sweet little Hands Across the Sea, Alice M Tippett. And I used a 32 count vintage country mocha, and I used a flower thread conversion. I'll show you that. So this is what I used, and I also posted this on my Instagram. If you would like to follow me on Instagram, I'm at Trinkety. I'll put it right here. And you can, I just post things that make me happy. So it's usually cross stitch. And so this is my conversion if you want to screen cap it. And I'll show it to you. You can decide for yourself. I'll show it again. So again, 32 count with flower thread is, mwah, it's fantastic. And this is what I did. Things are falling over here. I made a bag. So this is a pattern I found for free. And again, I'll link that pattern below. I tweaked the pattern and made it fit this, but it was pretty simple to put together. I probably going forward would not do all of the hardware business that I did, just because I don't think it's necessary. This really cute darling piece of jewelry for my bag was given to me by my friend Michelle, who is Michelle Hudson of Sacramento County, California, and she is in our group, our stitching group that I belong to for the Love of Stitches in Sacramento. And this was a Christmas gift she gave, and I loved it. And I was trying to decide what to do with this finished cross stitch. And when she gave me this, I thought, well, that kind of goes with the colors that I chose. And you can tell, I just took the colors as best I could and tried to replicate them. And then I decided to fill the house in. And then the bag, I used fabrics from Blackbird Design and also French General. So I just kind of, and then the inside is simple. I have a little cardboard in there I'm going to cover and take out. So it's just a little, it's a tote. So no pockets or anything. I think going forward, if I was to do this again, I would add pockets. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Country Mocha. One of the good things about putting it in a bag like this, I can wash this. I've made these types of bags before, and I hang them up to dry instead of putting them in the dryer. And I can do that with this because I think the flower thread is color fast. Don't quote me on that. When I do ultimately wash this, I will use a color catcher and I will hand wash it and then hang it upside down to dry. I think the vintage country mocha, because it's printed and not hand dyed, it will, I think it's color fast, but it's all fine. I just love it. I think it's turned out really cute, and my daughter is crazy for it. So could be a new way that I finish some of my smaller cross stitches. Just crazy for it. Anyway, I had to show you that. Oh, my arm. So let's see here. I'll show you this one really quick. This one I had forgotten about, so I didn't iron it. A Parlor pin cushion. I bought this at the attic. Love, love, love it. You can get it there. It's by Needlework Press. And I'm doing it on a piece of 56 count. And I hand dyed it myself. So it was a 56 count piece I got at the attic. And then I dyed it with Rit dye. And that's where I am on it. Not very far, but I wanted to make it super small to do a pincushion finish that's similar to this. I also saw a finish of it when I was at Sampler Symposium one year, and she had done it on a teeny tiny piece of fabric, and then she put paillettes, you know, the little flat sequins that you can get that are metal, and she added those on, and it was perfect. So I'm hoping to do that when I do finish that. And it's a little, I can finish it this year, and I'm using called for flosses, and it's gonna look super cute. And that lives in this really elegant, beautiful bag. Okay, so this one is a bag that my friend Kim, Contented Needleworker, gave it to me. It's a penny tiny bag. Isn't this darling? I love this bag. Absolutely beautiful quality, great workmanship. I love the zipper, everything about it. So this is something I started last year, for Black Sampler November. I'm doing Be Not a Dunce. And this is by Mama Loves You GB. You can get this. I just got the PDF and printed it up. Marianne Kettle, 1838. Strive to learn and be not a dunce. I am so tempted to make this into a purse as well. We'll see. So this is on a piece of 40 count Wonderful Walter. Didn't iron this. And this is by Those Missing Stitches. And I'm using a Silks for You silk, and just got most of the alphabet at the very top done, and have not worked a ton on this. I think I worked it on and off in November, and then I put it away, and then I picked it up the other day because I was at the end of January and I had done my WhipGo calls, and I decided to work on that. So that's where I am on it. Let me tell you what the Silks for You I'm using is the PRO 70, which is like their DMC. And it's not showing, but it does have quite a lot of subtle variegation, kind of from gray to black. And on this Wonderful Walter that is kind of a grayish, that's really reading quite well. This is a beautiful fabric. Again, Those Missing Stitches. She does a fantastic job, and I am so lucky that she is a member of our stitch group. I dropped my floss. See, I was boop, 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 boop. I'm back. So she is in our group, and she brings, sometimes will bring her fabric and let us buy it from her in person. It's always fun to get to touch it and see it. We don't have that where we live. We don't have a shop. Okay, let's see where I am here. I'm forgetting to put things away, so I'm kind of, okay, let's move on. All right, this next one is a bed sheet. It is huge. His eye is on the sparrow. I started this, oh my gosh, 7 years ago, I think, when we first moved up here. And I had great plans to finish it super fast and hang it on the wall here. And then Consider the Lilies happened, and this got tucked away. I also started this on a piece of 32 count, which I have to use 2 strands of floss, and I feel so sorry for myself when I look at that. Look at how big that is. But let me show you where I am on it. I can't turn back, and I don't want to get rid of it because I've done so much. So this is where I am. I did the bones of the warder. So it's a 32 count piece of Heartland by Picture This Plus with all the called for flosses. And I've been slugging along with 2 strands of floss with this, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things is not that big of a deal. But I'm so used to using 1 strand now that it's kind of like not what I want to really be doing. But look at that border. How beautiful is that? And all those critters. It's going to be great. But, oof. That's a big one. Oy, oy, oy. All right. So I'm also working, which I will show you in a bit here, Consider the Lilies. So I don't know, it's just hard to resist Beth Twist and her designs, those huge, well, I'm a sucker for a big project. I love the big, we call them BAPs, right? The big projects. It's like I can't say no. I just have to do it. All right, that's gonna be shared later. Okay, this next one, and that just lives in a plastic bag, so I'm not bothering. But this next bag, ooh, isn't that cute? That was from Sandy, Just Stitching Sandy. I'll put it here. She did a giveaway and I got this and I love it. I love this fabric. I don't know what the fabric is, but it's got the vintage ladies and all the fun, colorful colors. And what lives in here is my one and only full coverage, and it is by Carolyn Manning, and it's called Cherry Blossom. So I really wanted to do a Carolyn Manning, and I was going back and forth between this and Watermelon Tourmaline, and this actually went out because of all the pinks. It was just, I needed to have a lot of pink is a very common color, and I don't wear a lot of pink, but I love pink, and so this is what I chose. I chose all the DMC, and I have a piece of Those Missing Stitches, and I don't remember the color of the fabric, but it's pink. You don't even need to have a colored fabric because it's full coverage, but I knew that I would have it framed where some of it was going to be seen. So this is where I am on it, and I did have to put, and this is on Ada, so this is, you know what, let me look and see. I might have to. It's called Mighty Marico, and it is an 18 count, so I only have to use one strand of floss. So I put a little arrow here so I know which way is up, because it's kind of one of those designs where you kind of go, wait, which way? And I haven't done a ton of work on it. I've had this going for a couple of years, I think, and it's not my favorite type of stitching, but it's simple stitching. I actually end up taking this quite a bit to stitch togethers, because it's really just like coloring. You just do these blocks of color. I really love it. I love Carolyn Manning. It's not my typical stitch. I go for the samplers, usually, always, but this one just spoke to me. And yes, okay, let's put it away. So I'll talk about Nashville. I don't want to forget, but I know Nashville Market is coming up, and there's been a couple. I've been watching Stephanie from Lindy Stitches, and I'm going to talk about that right now. Okay, so there's one chart that I have already pre-ordered, and it was really funny when she was talking about it. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put it here. And I think it's called, oh, I can't remember. Wake Up Snake, I think. Wake Up Snakes. So I was telling my daughter about it because Stephanie is so funny and she's so enjoyable to just listen. I mean, even if I'm not, gonna buy anything, I just love to watch her. She's so funny. But so she showed this chart, and I started laughing. I just thought it was funny. We live up in a place where there are a lot of rattlesnakes in the summertime, and we have to be really careful, especially with dogs and people. But anyway, so they're kind of, on our radar, snakes, and last year was the year of the snake and blah, blah, blah. And so I told my daughter about this chart, and she said, wait, what? What does it say? And I said, wake up snakes and bite a biscuit. And she thought that was the funniest thing she had ever heard. And you're going to have to go watch Stephanie. I'll link it below if you want to get the full story behind it. But this is the chart. It's really cute. So Alex, our daughter, said, okay, Mom, you have to get that chart and we will stitch it together. I said, you got it. So I pre-ordered the chart and the fabric I said, are you okay with linen? Because she stitched a little bit, but it's on Ada. And she goes, yeah. And I said, okay, we'll get the 32 count. We have to use 2 strands of floss, but we can do it. We can tag team on it, which means this next one, I'm kind of humiliated to show you. It was a birthday start that I did with my friend Kim, Contented Needleworker, and Barbara, the Raspberry Stitcher. We share a birthday month, and so we try to start something every year together, and this is one that we chose, and this is by Maximum Cross Stitch. Gwynets Bouquet. Again, not my favorite type of stitching, but I love the way it looks. Now, the poison that I did for myself with this is I used a 32 count fabric that I had in my stash. I really like the 32 count, and I used all the called for DMC. Here's my issue. My stitches look so terrible. They're so wonky. It's a really pretty design, but I feel like those stitches are just awful. I don't know if, because it's been so long since I used 32 count and 2 strands of floss, I kind of pull a little too hard, and maybe this is a piece of Color and Cotton. And I used to be in their Fabric of the Month Club, and I just got this little fat quarter. And so it's been kind of lingering in my stash, and I thought this is a small project. It'll look great on the gray color. But now, I don't know. So we'll see. I've pulled it out. It's in my WIP rotation, so we'll see if I get any more done. If I start to work on it and I'm not enjoying it, I've got so many other things to stitch that I might have to let this one go. But, or restart it. I could restart it on a 40 count, and I think I would have a lot more fun. And I do love all the colors. So anyway, there's that one. And then this next one is, again, I feel a little humiliated showing you. This was one of those homespun needlework offerings on Facebook. So they have exclusives from time to time. You can get this now on Whilst Iris Naps. Mary Gibson, 1828. I was drawn to the whole thing. It's, first of all, it's enormous. I love the 2 houses. I really loved the offering that they gave. So they offer these exclusives, and you can only buy it and by getting the whole kit. So I got the whole kit. I got a piece of 40 count dirty teacup, needle and flax, and I got the teeniest little start on it. And I'm using the called for in over dies. Now I'm into trouble now because I pulled all my stuff out of this bag, so hopefully I won't. Oh my gosh, what a terrible, embarrassing start. It's not even a start. It's like a little bit of leaning into starting. And I started on this at the top. It's been a while. I think it's the bottom. Let me see. This is kind of embarrassing. That's where I am. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's on my WhipGo, so something's going to happen with it this year. I'm not quite sure what. And they offered a little bag. What's in the bag? I forget what's in the bag. The flosses. That's what was in the bag. Okay, that was kind of, let's move on. No, this is bringing me a lot of joy to share this with you. I hope you're stitching on something that you're having a lot of fun stitching. If you're like me and you watch Flosstube and stitch, that's what I do. I stitch and watch it and pause and shop and all that fun stuff. Okay, this one has been around for quite a while as well. This is Mary G Ramage 1891 by Hands Across the Sea. Another one of those samplers that I thought I would get and be way finished with it by now. I think it's been 3 years I've had this on the go. And I'm doing this on a piece of Toasted Almond. It's a 36 count and it's hand dyed by Stephanie. And it's very light beige color. And I'm using the DMC. And that's where I am. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be eyelets, but I didn't want to do eyelets for the alphabet, but I am doing eyelets around the outside of the border. And I have worked on it. I worked on it last year a bit. I started to work on the alphabet a little bit more, so I am making a little bit of progress on it. Squirrel. That's all I can say is there were squirrels happened. And that lives in this Okay, this next one, let's see here. This is another Hands Across the Sea. Hands Across the Sea is kind of my go-to designer. I really love the samplers and I love their charts. And the little spiral bound charts are super easy to stitch from. So this one is Rosa Ada Featherstone. This was from Hobby House Needleworks. I think you might be able to get it still. It was an exclusive, and that is the back. So that's not the back of the sampler. That is the back of the book, and there's two samplers in this book. And I got the kit from Hobby House. So I'm using the called for 36 count, and this is Antique Lace by Seraphim with the called for DMC. And that's where I am. I got the border lined out there. And this did get a little bit of work last year. I didn't pull it out and work on it a ton, but I did get that bird, it looks like a peacock, and most of that tree with the fruit in it over here. That was quite a lot of stitching, so I'm making good progress on her. So she's on the WhipGo. So she's on my finish, probably maybe finish this year. Fingers crossed. If I don't start all things. Okay. Let's see here. One more on the table and then I'm going to pause. So this one is, what's in here? Oh, Cathcart. This is by Shakespeare's Peddler, Cathcart Cohoun. And again, it was one of those things at market a couple years ago I just kind of had to have. And so I pre-ordered. Let me see what I'm working it on. This is a piece of Mozart that I'm working on, color and cotton 40 count, and I'm using the called for DMC. And I love this Mozart fabric by Color and Cotton. It's super pretty, and it's got, and you can see, sometimes you can see through things, you can kind of see through it, but it's really a good quality hand. It's got a good movement to it. Let me get a little closer, and I've just been kind of picking away at it. I really enjoy the border. It's very pretty, but quite a lot to go on this. No plans to finish it this year, but it is on the menu. Okay, I'm going to pause here for a sec, and I'll be right back. Whew. Okay, we're in the home stretch here. Almost done. Put more lip gloss on so I can talk again. All right, where am I? I've got this bag I made out of some fun blackbird fabric, and this is Elizabeth Isles. I love this stitch, and I'll explain why I haven't stitched on it very much. This was a stitch along for Laura Duet, who is half of Brenda and the Cereal Starter, and so I picked it up because I really love the border. This is my only Scarlet letter I have going. I loved the angels. And what happened is I started to personalize this. So I started changing out the angels and tweaking them and giving them different designs. Now I haven't ironed this because, in all honesty, that's been living downstairs and I forgot about it. And every time I think about it, I think, oh, I need to chart a new angel. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So around the outside border, we have all these angels. And so what I decided to do is to make the angels represent people in my life, like my mom, my aunt, some friends, things like that, my dad. So I've been recharting as I go along, and the little lady with the pink hair is my mom, and there she is with her knitting. And then the angel with the Viking helmet and the tennis racket is my aunt. And those little things, you know, they're not hard, but it just takes a minute for me to figure out what I'm going to do. I also wanted to redo and not do the bird, but now I'm going to do the bird. Originally, when I picked this up, I wasn't in love with that kind of geode bird, but now I love it. So I'm glad I waited, kind of glad I waited on that, because I really do like it. So doing the DMC, but I'm adding in, it's just a hodgepodge. I got a skin tone pack from, oh, I can't remember now. I'm going to forget, so I'm not even going to talk about that. But it was to give me different skin tones. Let's see. Oh, almond M&Ms. And so there were a lot of different ways to do the skin tones on the angels. So I thought, I'm going to do that. I'll get that, and then I can mix that up. And then I started grabbing whatever colors I wanted and sparkly things, because I feel like angels should have a little bit of sparkle to them sometimes. So it kind of slows me down when I do things like this, but I think ultimately I'm going to be really happy when it's all said and done, and I'll be able to put on the back of this when I get it framed, who's who in the angel border. So what am I working this on? This is a piece of, hold please, because I know I keep it usually on my floss ring, what I'm working on. Oh gosh, I'm embarrassed now. I don't know what it is. If I find it, I'll put it down here, what it is, but I don't remember. It looks like a piece of, picture this plus in sand. That's what I think it is. Picture this plus sand. I know it's not Heartland. It feels like a picture this plus. And I know I have a project on sand and I haven't shown you it yet. So that's what I think this is. But if I'm wrong, I'll put it down there. This is the stitch along for Brenda's birthday. And this was started a couple of years ago and I haven't worked very much on it. I'm not sure why. I love it. It's by Scarlet House, Martha Evans. Let's see if I can find the fabric. Oh, I'm working on, I'm doing it on a piece of 40 count taffra by Cedar River Linen and Designs. I'm using the called for DMC. And it's stitching out to look almost exactly like this. So I'm not sure what my issue is with it. I think it's the purple I'm not crazy about, the purples and the blues, but oh, I love it. I do love the design, and I love it. Once it gets on the fabric, it's gorgeous. So it's on my menu, and I did pick this up on Brenda's birthday in January, and I worked on it. So I got this bunny done, and I started on that bunny. I'm planning to just kind of bounce back and forth and work my way down onto the border. So there we go. Two of my favorite ladies. I know if you're watching me, you're watching them. We all love to see what they have going on. And having them share their joy with us. Okay, I don't know where that came from. Ooh, I've got a big pile of stuff here. All right, let's see, I'll do this one. So, yeah, this is my one and only Mirabilia. It's not my favorite thing, not my favorite way to stitch. And I actually, you know, I have it on a scroll frame, my Millennium frame, which is almost like a death knell for me of working on some things, because I tend to not work on that stuff up here. And this is where I get a lot of the scroll rods are downstairs, and I don't really spend a lot of time doing that kind of stitching right now. But I love this one so much, and I really want to get it done for my bedroom. I just love the fun Marie Antoinette vibe. It's called The Baker's Wife, and I bought a kit, and I mean, I went back and forth about the kit, and I made this really cool project bag to a folio to house it, and I mean, I thought I'd be way further than I am on it, but it's just been kind of looking at me. So I dyed this fabric myself. This is a piece of even weave in 36 count. I believe it might be 32 count. I'm pretty sure it's 36. And that's where I am on it. I just used a RIT dye in gray, and I just liked it with the colors. And again, it's like all of the outlining, all of the half stitches. I have no idea how to bead. I've never done a mirabilia before. I've watched people talk about it. So when I get to that point, after I do all of the stitching, that's when I'm going to bead it, I think. But that's why it's on a scroll rod, because I can not squish the beads. Once I could bead as I go, so that might happen. Anyway, that's where I am on it. Not very far at all. But I'm showing you all of the WIPs today. Okay, let's see here. Unless I forget something, which I think I did forget an animal cracker downstairs. It's the yellow, not the yellow, it's the orange cat. I can't remember his name. I'll put the picture here. I'm not very far. I have all of the head to do and then all of that. Okay. I gotta calm down a little bit. This one is Consider the Lilies. Do I have the chart in here? I put the chart somewhere. I don't know where I put it. But I've worked on it recently, so it's gotta be it. Never mind. It's up here somewhere. This is on a piece of 36 count. So I didn't do a 32 count. It's 36. And this is Silk Weaver. And the color is Sandcastle. And I'm using the Called for Overdyed Flosses. And this is where I am on it. And I started to work on this on Sundays. Just loving it. And I'm working my way up now to the middle part. Now I'm all freaked out that I don't know where the pattern is. I'll find it. Moving on here. This one lives in a bag I made. This fabric is so cute. This is by Charlie Harper, and it's birds with their Christmas stockings. It's just super cute. So I did, in this one, I've decided to put my Christmas stitches in this. And the only one that I have going right now is Pennsylvania Christmas Deer. And this is by Shakespeare's Peddler. I'm doing this on a piece of 40 count Aztec red and using a piece of, or using Silks for You in whatever their equivalent to white is. I wanted to do 40 count, so I only had to use one strand of floss, and that's where I am. Clipping along, and the camera is making it look way more vibrant than it is. It's actually more like that. It's more of a rusty red instead of a vibrant red. Vibrant? Rusty. Enjoying that. Okay, and that was inspired by, that start was inspired last year by my friend Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot, because she finished it and I had to pause the video and run and buy it. Okay, I believe this is my last one. So this is Reflet de Soie, my only one I have ever done, and it's Noeli Corbinu, 1847. And this was a start in, this was my birthday start. And this is on a piece of Wonderful Walter, again, by Those Missing Stitches. And I'm using a conversion. And I'm going to show you the other one I started too. So I started it originally in the Called for DMC, and I just wasn't having any fun with that. So somebody I had watched on Instagram, who is Nicola from Handmade number 12 Stitch Co. And she's on Instagram. I'll link her below. Finished this, I think it was 2 years ago, for her blessing sampler. And I really, really loved it. So I begged her to share her conversion, and she did. So thank you, Nicola, if you're watching. I really appreciate you. I'm having so much more fun with this. I love it. So I'm going to get a little closer. It really it's turning out just beautiful. I'm going to pull back so you can get the color read on it. And my plan when I finish it this year, which it will be finished this year, I'm going to put it in an oval frame if I can find one that's suitable. I'd like to find out like a really pretty gold ornate frame, but we'll see what I can find. Let me show you where I started originally. I had a piece of, and I do love the fabric that I chose originally is by 123 Stitch. What did I get? Pewter. And this is, I think, Picture This plus Pewter, which is a pretty fabric. And I thought this would look good on it. But the DMC floss, it was so yellow. Look how yellow that is. I'll hold the other one up and you can see together how different. That's what I started with. And then this is where I am. And you can see why I'm so much more in love with it. I think you can see why. I mean, some people have done it with the DMC and it does look really pretty. I think when it's all done and the flowers are there, it's just beautiful. But I wanted it to look more like the picture on the cover, which is what I've got now. So that is the end of my WIP parade, and I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm just going to say that I think for this coming month, my two projects that were called for WhipGo are, oh my gosh, you know what I forgot is Martha Pudsey. Where'd she go? Oh, here she is. All right, I lied. I have one more. Because this is on my WhipGo. It was on my table. I forgot to pull it over here. This is Martha Pudsey by the Scarlet House. A lot of people inspired this, and I'm doing this with the called for silk, which is NPI silk, and I'm doing this on a piece of 40 count raw, the color raw by Zweigart. It wasn't an expensive fabric, but to me it looked like the cover. And I really liked it with the silks. So I got that kitted up at Needle in a Haystack in Alameda, California. And this is where I am. I worked on this yesterday. So these my two Marthas, Evans and Pudsey, have been called for this month. And these are the girls I'm working on. So I worked on the grass yesterday as I watched Christy Crosshatch and really enjoyed escaping into my sewing room. So that's my last one. So I didn't count this time, but I think I have 27 or so. So okay, I have a lot to clean up, but those are my two WhipGo calls that I'm going to be working on. And then other than that, I have plans to start a couple of things, which I feel like now that I've kind of done my count, I don't feel like I have that many. I mean, it's not like I've got 80 or 100 whips. I'm a little bit more relieved, actually, because there's a lot of things that I have in my possession that I want to start. Also, I was on Acorns and Threads website. They had a big sale going on, so I ended up buying like 5 charts off them that I'll share next time. Nothing brand new. I think they're making way for market, so they're kind of blowing out their stock. If you want to go check out Acorns and Threads, they might still be having that sale go on. What else did I want to discuss? I think that was all I wanted to talk about today, and I hope you had a good time. I hope you, if you're working on anything I'm working on, please, please, please share with me what it is, and if we can work together and tag each other if we post it, that would be a lot of fun for me. I love this community. I love you all, and I wish you so many peaceful stitches. Bye, everybody.